Not very long ago, there was a fast comeback. Shiba Inu somewhat changed their pricing. Experts are dropping their signals. Massive bombshells delivered by Donald Trump and the Federal Reserve. People are enthralled. Multi-billion dollars. Crypto reserves has been announced. Not funny is around 100 billion. Satoshi Kusama is ready to flip everything. What is happening? Though what on earth am I even talking about? How would all of them make sense? Allow me to clarify now. Welcome to Dr. Crypto, your daily serving of Shiba. This is the spot for you if you're curious about anything related to Shiba. If you want to keep informed about all the latest news forecasts and stay ahead of the crypto industry, subscribe. To get more Shib news, be sure to click the like button. Shiba Inu had a revitalizing day. Its price quickly returned today and rebounded with a little but notable increase about 1%. Though at first look it seems little, given the declines we had seen, this is a nice respite. At last, we have somewhat offset the losses. The worst part is here, however. Shiba Inu burns have exploded right with this small pricing frenzy. Thanks to the committed efforts of the community, millions of tokens were delivered directly to dead wallets in under 24 hours. This burn mechanism is not just a normal function. This is a collective endeavor to generate scarcity and tighten supply, therefore driving demand and maybe increasing the price over time. Shiba Inu aficionados are familiar with the exercise. Ignoring the possibility for a greater price comeback is increasingly difficult the more tokens are burnt. This approach helps us to maintain optimism, particularly on days like these when the market at last offers something to cause delight. But you may be thinking, why this is occurring? What is generating this meager comeback? Well, if we look around, Bitcoin appears to be acting in such manner. Having dipped somewhat yesterday, it is presently rising back up to occupy its place above the 100,000 threshold. And why all of this? Well, the market is embracing it because the Trump government and the Federal Reserve seem to have dropped a bombshell of sorts. Though the Fed maintains a strict posture on interest rates, Bitcoin has been able to go over the 84,000 barrier. Usually, the market becomes unstable when the Fed maintains its rigidity and refutes hints of rate reduction. Still, cryptocurrencies are not flinching this time. Some analysts even see this to be a positive indication. Historically, the most crypto bull runs have occurred when Bitcoin begins to move independently from conventional equities. Fed Chair Jerome Powell made it quite clear that inflation still exceeds their desired level. They also don't always have to reach that 2% objective before changing rates, even if it is their intention. This has traders speculating that we won't see any significant rate reduction until at least midway year. Here is where things become interesting, however. Powell also said that as long as they control risks, banks are allowed to collaborate with crypto startups. That remark went like wildfire, providing the market some more push. Furthermore, the SEC recently withdrew from a regulation, making it more difficult for banks to retain crypto assets. With that obstacle over, the thrill is starting to kick in. And driving the charge is Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin shifts, Shiba Inu follows the rest of the market. This might be the beginning of anything more since Shiba Inu already shows a good comeback today, and moreover the significant increase in token burning. Should Bitcoin continue to rise, Shiba Inu could have even more space for expansion. The market is changing and right now things seem to be much more fascinating. And here is something really fascinating. With Donald Trump being quite public in his support, after all these recent US crypto measures, it seems as if other nations are beginning to follow the same road. Just now, the Czech National Bank made a significant statement that can cause even more disturbance. The Czech National Bank is thinking about becoming the initial central banks in Europe in including Bitcoin into its holdings. Should this strategy be approved, Bitcoin might account for a fair portion of the national assets, as the bank's chief has made quite evident. He thinks of Bitcoin as a great approach to vary investments. This is significant because, up until recently, central banks have mainly stuck to safer conventional assets like gold. Although digital currency was always seen as excessively dangerous now, such perspective is beginning to change. Analysts already claim this might cause some conflict with the European Central Bank, particularly since Czechia has not yet embraced the euro. The overall picture here, however, is that increasingly more nations are seeing Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies generally as something worth giving thought. Not just Europe, however. Governments all across are investigating substitutes for conventional currencies, particularly in areas where the dollar has been weaponized politically. Russia has been making crypto movements as well, attempting to establish its own digital coin system. Why then is all of this such a huge deal? Global acceptance of cryptocurrencies, therefore, goes beyond only Bitcoin. It opens the floodgates for the whole market, particularly for coins like Shiba Inu, that really have true usefulness and use cases. More chances for initiatives beyond mere digital asset value open up the more nations and institutions appreciate cryptocurrencies. And here's the crazy bit. Recall how Satoshi Kusama lately said he is leaving his current post to concentrate only on worldwide adoption for Shiba. That timing is very fascinating. As we discussed in the previous video, he has indeed been suggesting something rather big is just around. This could be the largest announcement he has ever made, he has even claimed. It so begs serious questions given everything else going on. The US changing its position on cryptocurrencies, other nations adopting similar policies, and Bitcoin making significant movements. Is Shiba Inu going worldwide? Could we really see governments beginning to include it into their budgetary systems? One day, may Shiba Inu reserves or ETFs even be visible? Now, even if that may not occur just yet, all of this is clearly driving a lot of enthusiasm. The pieces are flowing, the market is changing, and with Satoshi's declaration still pending, the opportunities seem more genuine than ever. This is clearly just the beginning, hence there is much more to look forward. And should it ever occur, the costs of Shiba would be much changed. People are indeed already flinging crazy conjectures. Some claim it may be worth $1, maybe 5 or 10. Then one tweet really grabbed people's attention. Shiba Inu will have a $100 billion market value, someone remarked plain forwardly. That is reasonable now. That's the main question, then. Shiba Inu is already experiencing a price comeback right now. Burns are increasing. Worldwide crypto usage is gathering steam. The game is completely changed if big organizations and even nations start appreciating and include cryptocurrencies like Shiba Inu. We have seen it somewhere previously. An asset's worth increases as faith in it rises, and it's difficult not to speculate on what Satoshi Kusama's next major professional announcement is if he is teasing it. Might it be a significant joint venture? Worldwide push. Something entirely changing Shiba Inu's position on the market. Though one thing is certain, none knows exactly. The buzz is genuine, and it is just growing more intense. Here, however, things becomes very intriguing. Analysts are really supporting some of Shiba Inu's audacious forecasts. They think Shiba Inu's reaching those enormous price expectations is not just a pipe dream. Actually, they have presented a really obvious road for it to follow. It's all about the ecology if Shiba Inu are to meet those aspirational goals, that of 1,000 times greater than their present price. To bring Shiba Inu to pass, the group behind them needs to carry out various important projects. Analysts note that reaching a goal 1,000 times greater would cause a significant price increase given Shiba Inu dealing at its present level. With some professional support, this would increase its market value into the hundreds of billions, while enormous, but within the range of possibilities. Some market observers, such as Crypto Sheriff, have even foreseen Shiba Inu reaching such pricing levels should the appropriate breakout occur in its market trend. Another analyst, Luxide, thinks that elements like rising whale activity and declining retail interest might provide the conditions for a significant rise, thereby bringing Shiba Inu nearer to those levels. Here, however, is the true game changer. The desired objective is 1 penny. Shiba Inu would require a roughly 50,000% rise from where it is currently to get there. Its market cap would thereby enter the trillions. Although it seems very unachievable, there are voices in the community, including Shiba Inu's own marketing lead, who believe this might come true someday. And the most fascinating component? It's not totally out of reach, particularly if Shiba Inu's team maintains developing its current initiatives and continuing expanding its ecosystem. Now, Shiba Inu's circulating supply must be lowered if it is to really fulfill these pricing aspirations. The price might climb more the more tokens are burnt. Although Shiba Inu has started some burn campaigns, the community would have to substantially intensify such measures to have an impact on such large-scale circulating supplies. And this is mostly where Shiba Inu's own Layer 2 blockchain is important. Shibarium must be widely embraced if we are to fully use the ecology of Shiba Inu. Should Shiba Inu finish its ecosystem initiatives, the coin's value would be much enhanced and more users will be attracted. Higher demand resulting from more adoption drives the price up. Although several of these initiatives are currently under construction or testing, Shiba Inu may have a significant turning point once they are finished. Thus, even if achieving these pricing objectives would not be simple, it is not impossible either. And with the present momentum, including recent price recovery, along with growing hope, who knows, the path to those ideal rates could be much shorter than we believe. On this, however, what is your view? Comment down below. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up. To see our most recent material, share it and subscribe to the channel.